Oh, there you go. Okay, so we're good. Um, yeah, we good. We good. So yeah, so like I was saying earlier, it was like you said that you stopped at a toy store. It's like it's rare that you might see, toy stores anywhere. You see malls. They are shutting down. Kenwood is the only mall on the east side of the city that's like striving. Because if you go to Cincinnati Mills, that's like a wasteland.
Great. Ghost town.
That's a wasteland, and then was it Tri-County? That's almost a wasteland.
Almost.
But yeah. It's just crazy because I'm like, if you really think about our childhood and everything, you would remember like KB Toys and all the other, what is it?
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us.
Which is slowly making a comeback.
That's what I heard.
So weird.
Why do you think it's weird? Why do you think it's weird?
Because they shut down all those years ago. And now
how long ago was that?
I think like 2017, 2018. 2018 they shut down.
Was it 28? Oh, okay. I didn't realize how like
or the one in Cincinnati shut down, I should say.
Yeah. I think they still probably got some in New York or something like that.
Yeah, that's doing over
there. How do you feel about malls now? It's like is there
some of them feel like they're just
But which ones though? So do you think Kenwood is next, or do you think?
I don't think Kenwood's leaving anytime soon.
Pull your mic up closer to a little bit.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't think Kenwood's leaving anytime soon.
Okay. Nah, cause I'm like, yeah, cause I think that's the biggest one that's striving because all of the little foot traffic that they have going on there. They got the Apple Store, they got Cheesecake Factory, they are doing all the different renovations and stuff in there. I'm just like, okay, that's the only one in the city that's striving.
Although they did shut down.
They did?
Yep.
Why?
I have no idea.
That was another thing that was like getting them in foot traffic and stuff.
That was literally everything else.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I remember when I was younger, they used to have like a CVS in there. They literally had a CVS store in there.
Before I came to Cincinnati.
Huh?
That was before I came to Cincinnati.
Where are you originally from?
I lived in Florida for like a good year before coming to Cincinnati.
What were you originally? Yeah.
Missouri. And then Georgia.
The more you learn about people, man. Mm-hmm. So you would live in Missouri. What part specifically?
Kansas City.
Oh, wow. So you in the South Side. Well, yeah, like
before I knew it was racist people up in there.
That's the South though, so you should probably expect it though, man.
Yeah. Well, that's before we knew. But we got out of there I think after a year.
Mm-hmm. So what was that like, living in Missouri?
It was fun for the brief moment that we were there.
So how long were you there in Missouri specifically?
I think like mid 2004 or like late 2004 to early 2005.
So that was just a year.
Yeah. Just about.
So was your people's like just moving around a lot or whatever?
Yeah, because of my dad's job.
What do you do? If you mind asking?
He was a motivational speaker. Yeah. What the?
Okay. Yeah, that's upstairs. My bad.
He was a motivational speaker.
Like a pastor?
For colleges.
Oh, okay. So I guess he was working with like different schools and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, let's get it started. What's going on, everybody? This is Daylon Morrow, back again with another episode of the Mind of a Filmmaker podcast. How's everybody doing today? Yeah. So today, this is probably a special episode for me and this guest here, and probably even another guest that's not here. But today we got another, because when I was watching it, I'm like, all right, he's defending himself. He has this new daughter or whatever. He found a girl that he kind of adopted for his own.
But in reality, he has a secret dark past. That
Exactly.
He's hiding.
Exactly. He has a secret dark past that he's hiding. I guess he looked at the girl as a way of doing it, I guess.
Of coping with his lust.
Yeah. Or like dealing with the fact that he did have a dark past, and he was trying to make it right, I guess. And so, spoiler alert. You see that the daughter's family is like a part of like some kind of gang, and they're like a meth lab gang. So like as the story goes on,
I will admit I did walk in on some parts. So
what parts did you see?
Particularly the ending, where it's revealed that her family is part of this.
The meth gang or whatever.
Yeah, her mom is basically disabled, but she wants to do the transplant.
That was the sad part about it, because I'm like, I don't know who to root for anymore, because it's like he took the girl in for his own without, acknowledging who her parents were. And
I mean, technically you could root for the dog. Both of them.
Both dogs.
I know they killed one of them, but
yeah,
then the other one came to the rescue. Still.
And that was the dog that was their dog too. So it was like he just switched sides on them. Okay. Yeah, so it was kind of weird. Like this story was a lot different than the first one. Like I said, yeah, I wasn't sure who to root for or anything like that. It was a lot more gruesome. Even though I think the first one was just as gruesome, but I think this movie took it a step further.
I do remember seeing dudes say, "You're gonna see what I've been seeing for like."
Oh yeah, and then he like, yeah,
his eyes out.
Exactly. So that was like one of the scenes that was very gruesome. I think it was another part where it was a guy that it was a guy that was going after him or whatever, and he had took like super glue or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And like,
he glued his nose.
He buck fit. Yeah, that's what it was. He super glued his nose or whatever. So he's like, yo, put your tongue in your cheek or whatever, and like he
hold your breath or something.
Yeah, he told him to hold his breath or something like that, and he like buck 50'd him so he can breathe again. I'm like, yo,
dude, that's brutal.
Very brutal. Candyman.
That's a movie right there.
Did you like it?
I did like Candyman. It's okay. So I'm gonna quote a person that I follow. His name is the Birdman, but
I don't know what's going on, but just like pull it, lean it, if it's possible. No. Like the arm is, you can pull the arm out. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Why didn't I think of that? Anyway, I'm gonna quote this guy. He basically said in one of his streams, that you can tell the difference between a filmmaker making a film and a studio making a movie.
Okay.
Candyman is one of those movies where you can tell it was made by a filmmaker with a vision, whereas something like Space Jam, I love Space Jam.
And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Is a movie made by a studio to make as much money as possible. But back to Candyman.
Yeah.
I think there's some things that people don't get about it, because I've heard people complain that Candyman is too woke, or they're tired of us being like at the center of the movies or white people being demonized. But I think the entire no, don't quote me on this because I'm not all that well versed in the Candyman mythos. But I think the entire point of Candyman was
in
racial
this movie
undertones, especially in this movie. Excuse me. Now, there was one thing I was kind of disappointed with. It was kind of the kills, because a lot of them were off screen.
Yeah.
Especially like that one in the museum where the art museum where that guy was.
He just was like,
yes, and he dug into his heel with his hook and dragged him back.
Yeah.
We didn't see anything happen. We only saw the gory aftermath. I mean, I guess you could make the argument where it's like, what's the word I'm trying to say? It's more effective when you don't see what happens
because it leaves room for the imagination.
Right.
Yeah. And
some of the bodies we didn't even see.
Yeah, like the scene in high school bathroom.
Right, when girl went to go get her vape and we only hear like the crunching of bones, and then we see all of a sudden we see this puddle of blood just pour to the ground like a waterfall.
So that little part where the blood comes.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Why not?
Because it looked fake.
It did look fake.
It was like, it slowly looked. I think if they used it practically, that had to be like some gel or something that was like slowly oozing.
That makes sense.
It wasn't like Kool-Aid or whatever that they like splattered.
But then again, blood is thick, so. But I don't know if it's that thick.
Hey, it's not Jello. Our blood is not Jello.
No, it's not. Although, by the sound of what Candyman was doing, I think it's safe to say that that girl was getting skinned.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like all of the girls was getting skinned, like
not just that one.
Just that one.
I think the others just got stabbed and sliced, but that other girl was just, yeah. There was also some really gruesome imagery that they did decide to show, like Anthony's decaying hand that he got stung with.
Man,
like
that
him
was
peeling his
gross,
skin and
man.
Taking his nails off. Listen, if you're a filmmaker, you got to be really careful with that stuff because that is not pleasant to watch.
I mean, that's the point.
That's the point, though. It's a horror movie.
Yeah,
it's more. It feels more like a psychological than a body horror.
And so so when that movie was out in theaters at the theater, I remember like all the people that I bumped into that I knew personally. The people I bumped into that I knew personally, they would say like they didn't like it because it wasn't scary. I'm like, it's a key. What is his name?
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. It's a Jordan Peele movie.
Technically, even though he produced
He's
it.
the producer, but when the producers has a hand into it, you know that you're gonna tell that it's produced by them.
And sometimes comedians have the darkest stories to tell.
Yes. We'll talk about another movie that was pretty much directed by a comedian. Jordan Peele. You can tell that it's definitely made by Jordan. You can definitely tell that Jordan Peele has his hand into it.
Right, you Get Out and Us vibes from the movie.
Exactly, because it has like a racial undertone.
Especially from the director. Now, her name is Nia DaCosta.
Yes.
I've never seen any of her work except Candyman, but I hear she's directing the next Captain Marvel movie.
Yes, so that's right.
If this is the stuff we're going to get from her, then I'm all in.
Yeah.
The next Captain Marvel, which is probably one of my least favorite Marvel movies. But moving on.
I don't remember me watching Captain Marvel.
Well, Captain Marvel, it's not awful like everyone's blowing it out of proportion to be, but it's very mid in terms of Marvel movies.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like the main character doesn't seem like she's into the role. She's got this constant scowl on her face. Mm-hmm. She's always balling up her fist. It didn't seem like she was having fun with the role like someone, but in Avengers Endgame, mm-hmm. It seemed like she had better direction and it actually felt like she belonged in the Marvel universe.
Who directed the original one, the original Captain Marvel?
It's been a while. I haven't seen anything from Captain Marvel since I watched that movie. Or
The director, you mean?
No,
Oh,
I don't know who the director is of Captain Marvel.
Hold on. I am looking it up right now as we speak. So the director's name is Anna Boden and Brian Fleck. What have they been known for? Let's see. Captain Marvel, Miss America, Sugar.
I've never heard of any
Yeah,
of
none
these
of that
movies.
stuff. I haven't really I don't know any of that stuff. Ryan Fleck, Sugar. It seemed like the two directors have worked on other things together, if I'm reading this correctly. So yeah, so that's the only thing that they're really known for is Captain Marvel. So yeah, so back on the Candyman. So if you guys didn't really understand the original, like the whole ideology, the
ideology,
the ideology of Candyman, so it wasn't really specifically about Candyman, but the whole like meaning of Candyman is that like the same way Candyman was, abused when he was actually a real person, there are different types of Candymen that has happened over history.
Right.
So, and they were trying to make it seem like it was the police brutality, the police brutality.
It's how, like, I think the dude said, Candyman's the way how we deal with these things are still happening.
Right. Candyman is the whole hive.
Yep. It's the whole hive.
It's the whole
Even
hive.
a kid was Candyman. Yeah. There was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that kid who got sentenced to electrocution.
Yeah, so if you stay to the end of Candyman, you will see that there's like a post-credit sequence.
Like a montage.
It's like a montage, not a sequence. Well, it is a sequence montage. And it's like it shows the different Candymen that have occurred over history, and especially in Black history. I forget the names of these guys, but it was I feel like one of them was like the kid from I don't know if they said that in the Green, if they had this kid in the Green Mile, but it was a kid in Green Mile where he was electrocuted. I forget the history. Don't quote me on this, but it was different historical men that were treated like Candyman in the end credit scene, and that just showed the bigger picture of Candyman. Yeah. So next we got Mortal Kombat.
Even though that technically wasn't summer, but who cares?
What was
Mortal
that?
Kombat.
When did that come out?
That was April. Like the beginning.
Spring,
it was somewhat like the beginning of summer.
The very beginning of the summertime.
Yeah. Like the ending of April, but
yeah,
the near the beginning of May. Anyway, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. So did we watched that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We did go see it.
Yeah.
What you think about it?
I think it was decent as far as video game movies go. They took some liberties, but it's not all bad. Like, say, something like the Resident Evil movies where they don't care about the source material they're representing.
Hold that Resident Evil to the end.
Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
We got something good for y'all. Ooh.
But okay, so Mortal Kombat. I feel like there were some parts that were tame in comparison to the games. Like some of the fight scenes were kind of mid, but any fight that involved Scorpion and Sub-Zero was just absolutely top tier because those guys can actually fight in real life.
I think those are like trained martial artists.
Yeah, the guy who played Sub-Zero's name is Joe Taslim. He was in this movie called The Raid, and he was actually a professional fighter in that movie too, and he did some sick fight choreography. And speaking of Sub-Zero,
Mm-hmm.
Sub-Zero, he actually made me fear for the lives of everybody in this movie. It's been a long time since a movie villain has done that, because recently movie villains haven't been so good, especially in like Disney movies where it's like twist villains.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's
so,
always the guy you don't expect.
right?
Or like, and that ends up really lame in a really good movie. But
Yeah.
Sub-Zero, he actually is the GOAT in this movie.
So have you seen the '90s version of the Mortal Kombat?
I've seen it in passing. It's not accurate to the games at all either, but still, I know it's a classic among people who.
It's a
love
cult
Mortal
classic.
Kombat.
I feel like, yeah, if you're a big fan of like Mortal Kombat, it will be considered a
cult
classic for sure. But the different, I think it's a big difference between this version and the '90s version, because I think they tried to use like practical effects with it in the '90s one.
And they tried to tone it down for the younger audience.
The '90s one or this one?
The '90s, whereas the new one is like a hard R.
Was it already? Oh, okay, I didn't know that it was.
Which is something Mortal Kombat needs to be. It's just,
for sure.
It's just we didn't have that many fight scenes, or many good fight scenes and gory goodness in this new Mortal Kombat. And which isn't to say that there wasn't any, because there was some really good gore in this movie.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but at the same time I enjoyed it. Was the fight with Jax, and how he got his arms and everything,
and how he got
got the chicken
folded by Sub-Zero.
Got the chicken arms.
They did him so dirty with them tiny metal arms.
Man,
they really expected him to fight with those.
Face off, bro, with him walking around with the wired arms or whatever, bro.
They really expected Jax to fight with the. Well, I don't think they were expecting him to. Yeah, they were. He was one of the chosen fighters. They really expected him to fight with those.
Those was like some chicken legs.
Until I guess he unlocked his Arcana. That was another thing. Arcana is not a thing in Mortal Kombat.
What is that? The special moves or whatever?
It's like that. The Arcana is like the abilities that they get if you have the Dragon Mark. It's not in the games like at all.
It's not? Wait a minute.
No, Sub-Zero, he didn't get his ability from his Arcana. He was born a cryomancer. Like, he was born to control ice.
Oh, okay. So he was born with it. He just didn't just get it.
Yeah, that's like his whole family line, because there were Sub-Zeros before him and Sub-Zeros after.
Oh.
Yeah, like the one in the new games, that's his brother. And the old Sub-Zero that becomes Noob is the one in this movie.
See,
that's for any of y'all that know your Mortal Kombat mythos.
I don't know anything about the whole thing, man. Like, I know it on the surface. I don't know it as deep as you.
Right. I'm not that deep into Mortal Kombat either, but I know some things. I'm not gonna pretend like I know all everything about all.
Yeah.
But still.
But yeah, so honestly, when my bad, y'all. My mouth is not working today. Pause.
Dude.
Nah, so in the beginning of the whole movie, you see like the backstory of like how Sub-Zero and Scorpion's beef had like started pretty much, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was was it Scorpion's son that was that he grows up to be?
That was like who was it again? Shit. Damn, I don't remember. It was like one of his like great grandsons.
So it was great. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the baby that's Raiden ends up saving is like the next in a long line of like the Hanzo Hasashi clan.
Okay. I thought he was going to be like the new Scorpion.
No, let's talk about Cole Young. He was so lame. I did not like Cole. Like, the movie did not need an original creation. Looking at you, Resident Evil. Like, you did not need to create a whole new character in a game that in a movie that already has existing material.
Yeah, I'm like, they didn't really have to do that unless it was like needed. If they felt like it needed to be, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really needed. I'd rather just have an actual story amongst all the characters that were in the actual video game and not.
And those exist. They're animated, but still counts.
Mortal Kombat is a WB, right?
Yeah.
Nice segue. So the next movie, that we're going to be talking about is Space Jam,
which we talked about.
We talked about it last time, but I think it was some stuff that we really.
It was more like a full-on review.
It was it was a full-on review, but we're just talking about it. And that was, I think, the last time it was an interview, so we were just talking to just talk about it.
Yeah.
But now we are really talking about it now. So that was a summer movie.
I did not expect it to do as well as it did, especially amongst the black crowd.
What you mean? What you mean?
Because I've been arguing against like some people that Space Jam is a black movie, and
Which
first
Space
one
Jam, because of Michael Jordan, or
the first one, and this one technically counts.
How? Why do they think Space Jam is a black movie?
I said I think Space Jam.
Oh, you
is
think
a black
that?
movie.
Oh,
like
you think it's a black movie?
Like, I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but isn't basketball like a predominantly black sport?
So is football. So is baseball isn't, because
baseball.
I think it's a lot of like international people in there too, like Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, blacks. It's like a mix. It's like
there
a
is
big
golf.
melting pot.
Fuck golf.
No comment on golf. I kind of grew up on, not necessarily grew up on it, because I wasn't always into golf. My grandfather, he was in golf. He was into golf. He passed the whole game on to me and my older cousin. But I don't have any problems with golf. I think it's kind of the slower.
It's definitely a slow.
They always say baseball is a slow sport.
Nah, it's golf.
But it's golf that's really slow, because you have to be quiet and you have to focus on the whole putting and stuff like that.
Because one wrong mess up is gonna
mess up your whole score and everything.
Okay, but back to Space Jam.
Yeah.
LeBron James instead of Michael Jordan, obviously this time.
Yeah.
I know this movie was getting a lot of hate just off the bat, just because LeBron James was at the center instead of Michael.
LeBron James.
But to be clear, I don't think Michael Jordan wanted to do another Space Jam, which first of all, he's kind of older and he's doing other things now, so I don't think he wanted
drinking.
No, that too.
That's all he's doing for real. He's not really. I take that back. I think he's the head. He's the.
Isn't he the coach for like?
No, he's not. He's not a coach. He's the head guy. For the Charlotte.
The Hornets.
The Hornets.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But he don't really gotta do nothing. He ain't on the court no more. He's in the box seats right now, probably watching the game.
He don't want to play with the Looney Tunes no more. But back to the movie itself.
Yeah.
Let's get this out of the way. LeBron can't act.
But we knew that a long time ago.
He knows that himself, because he even points it out in the movie. He's like, athletes and movies just don't go together. But it's a lot more tolerable when he's animated.
Right.
But the Looney Tunes themselves, it's so fun watching their antics.
Especially when they poke fun at him. Like.
And everybody's poking fun at LeBron James. I think LeBron James wrote those parts.
They're like, yo, LeBron James, you're going to get it every minute of this movie.
Right.
They talked about him like they
leaving teams.
Right. Yeah, they done brought up him switching teams and them bringing up how like you can't it's always not about the fundamentals and stuff like that.
And how I think his fake son in the movie, he was like, my dad's the GOAT. And then Don Cheadle's like, yeah, the jury's still out on that one. He was also like, he left Cleveland, he left Miami, He left
Who you gonna leave
Cleveland
now?
again.
Who you gonna leave now, Bron?
And then even Bugs Bunny is just like, you ran out of teams to play for, Doc?
Man, so yeah, so they were really like jabbing it at in him.
But the tunes themselves, I know people were pretty jarred about the fact that they were going to be 3D for the game, but I think some of their models worked pretty good.
Very well.
Especially like characters like Bugs Bunny, and Daffy Duck, Wily, Roadrunner.
How did you feel about Bad or Lola?
Lola, in 3D, she kind of looks, her face looks shrunk, but it's not off-putting to me.
So I remember
Lola as a whole, I liked her in this movie. I don't have a problem with the fact that Zendaya voiced the character. I feel like her voice fit for this particular version of the character.
Yeah.
But back to you.
I remember, I think when they put the trailer out and everything, and they saw Lola was really in her what was it, WNBA. She looked more of a WNBA star than the sexual figure that they had her be in the first one. And that was kind of weird because it's like they're not lying. Like,
nah, they aren't.
She looks like a real woman now.
And besides, she's still the same basketball player that she was.
Yeah.
She's probably the best basketball
she
player.
She was in the first one. Yeah, she was like, she had some good handles in the first movie.
Right.
But then at the same time, I think definitely you can tell that it was a different time.
Right.
Because I think the original Space Jam was in like the 90s, so they were able to get away with a lot of different things than this one now.
Like Pepe Le Pew, who is not in this movie.
Bruh, yeah, that was another thing. So Pepe Le Pew wasn't in the movie because of them canceling Pepe.
But the thing is, I heard WB said they weren't planning on using Pepe for like any foreseeable projects. I don't think that happened like before the development of Space. Well, I think it did because they obviously didn't think of putting him in the movie. Otherwise, people would have said something. You can't please everybody.
Yeah,
they would have called him out for being a rapist or whatever. But the joke is, it's not that. I don't think he's a skunk. He stinks. But still, I think this movie was a blast.
It was very fun.
Especially in the theater. Well, yeah, especially in the theater. I think my audience cheered at the end of the movie, and they were having a really good time. They were laughing. The Michael Jordan cameo had everybody screaming.
Michael Jordan...
And then some other theaters I walked into, it was dead quiet, except for like a few people.
Oh yeah. How many theaters was quiet?
Like there were like a few that were quiet when the Michael Jordan cameo happened. Like, y'all ain't got no sense of humor. That shit was funny. And then I walked into another theater, and then when Sylvester's like, I found Michael Jordan, somebody said, huh?
And when I saw that part, I was thinking like, oh snap, they really gonna bring the two together. That would be dope. But when they showed that it was Michael B. Jordan,
it was still pretty funny.
It was still funny. I'm sorry, man.
I think my sister got really excited because she loves Michael B. Jordan. We couldn't get Michael A. Jordan.
So we got Michael B. Jordan.
I thought he aged gracefully. It's been 25 years.
This man knows this movie inside and out, man. I can't believe it.
I think I know the first Space Jam kind of by heart. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Yeah, I think that it was that movie. It was Space Jam, Big Daddy, but with not Ben Stiller,
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
That's it.
Those were my two movies that I like played out like crazily, like. But one of the funnier moments. Well, it's two, like we said in the last episode. The King Kong reference.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
And like that's the fact that they were able to point those people out in the crowd. That was hilarious.
Right. I think that was one of the few times where the crowd was actually interactive, because most of the time they were just cheering in a loop.
Oh yeah, exactly, in the loop.
There were characters like the Animaniacs in like the upper corner of the screen. It's weird. I wanted those characters to get a speaking cameo, but then you got characters like Rick and Morty that get the speaking
Rick and
role.
Morty got a speaking role because they were like in that universe. They were in the DC
Serververse.
universe, the Serververse.
Although the sequence with the Justice League, the DC universe, that was a pretty good sequence.
Very good. Hold on. All right, so one of the memorable moments besides the cameos and stuff was like the little toonish moments that they had. So one specifically was the rap battle.
We rapping now?
We rapping.
The Porky Pig
bar, and then you said that it's like an extended version or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of. Then they have like a rap album, whatever. Or did they have that little rap? Well, it's like a little thing that you showed me that, right?
Yeah, it was like extended version of it where Don Cheadle was rapping and Daffy Duck was rapping.
No, it was like I don't know. Somebody had wrote.
Oh, the one where Jay-Z wrote for Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was
for the first Space Jam?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that one was fun. That's one of my favorite tracks on that album.
It was on. You said it was on the first Space Jam.
Yeah, it's called Buggin'.
Buggin'.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
if
you
you haven't heard it, look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up afterwards or whatever. So the next one is the Venom.
Let there be carnage.
Let there be carnage.
Are we allowed to talk spoilers on this one? Even though
Spoiler.
the major spoiler is really in the end credits scene, because
yeah.
Itself
Let's
as
start
a
with
whole.
the movie itself, yeah.
So if I were to pick between this one and the first Venom, I'd probably rewatch Let There Be Carnage. I feel like Let There Be Carnage was better put together than the first one.
Why?
It's just, it felt more coherent, and it didn't feel like Eddie Brock just being quirky and weird. And I say this as a person who liked the first Venom, even though it's has pretty much nothing to do with the comics, except the name Venom and the fact that they did it without Spider-Man. But we'll get into
that. Was the whole problem with this whole franchise, honestly, because I'm like,
that Venom is like an integral part of Spider-Man's character.
story and like how he became Spider-Man and everything.
Right. And how I think obviously there's a comic where Spider-Man gets the costume, he has to take it off at one point, and then it bonds to Eddie Brock, and then
the black suit, right?
Yeah, the black suit.
Yeah.
And I think one of my favorite ways to hear where he got his name is like in this cartoon Spectacular Spider-Man, where he's talking to Peter Parker in his backyard, he's fighting him, he's beating him up, and he's like, from now on, we're poison to Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
I do remember
we're
seeing
Venom.
That. Yeah.
Like that's a good way to get his name. But they kind of did that here with Cletus Cassidy, because he kept mentioning that he loves Carnage, and that's where the titular character gets his name, Carnage.
Yeah. And then I think it was already planned probably after they wrapped the first Venom, but when they had that end credit
Woody
scene,
Harrelson had that horrible wig.
That horrible wig, and I'm glad that they
I'm glad he shaved that, or he told him to get rid of it. They did not. He did not like that. I'd be mad too.
I'm like, that's not real. But I guess now that I think about it, if you look back at the comics, Cletus Cassidy had the curly red head. So okay,
but it just didn't work on Woody Harrelson.
It didn't really work at all.
But
maybe if he was younger or whatever, but
maybe.
No.
But Carnage himself, I loved Carnage in this movie. The fact that he had a really great first scene of him just wrecking everybody in the police station.
That was a dope scene, yes.
The only thing that made it kind of lacking was the PG-13 rating, because Cletus Cassidy is a serial killer. And Carnage is like, he kind of adapts those traits of Cletus. So we need to see him just go full on ruthless. And he kind of gets ruthless in this movie,
Yeah.
especially with that one officer he pinned to the wall, and he was just like,
he tongued him down, bro.
Pretty much. I think he either destroyed his insides or he choked him with his tongue.
He made love to that man against the wall. He literally made love to that man. He gave him a French kiss and he died.
The worst kind of French kiss.
Man, what did you say? You said that's a new meaning to what that mouth do.
Oh, yep, pretty much. or something. What? No, it wasn't what that mouth do. It was I'm sorry, I'm about to get really dirty here. It was deep throating.
Man, that was hilarious.
But I think Venom was actually kind of the heart of the film too. I didn't like Anne at all. I know Eddie messed up a lot in the first movie, but how you gonna have somebody come up out of the privacy? How you just gonna call somebody out of the privacy of their own home?
Yeah,
just that person that loved you, and tell them that you're getting engaged to the other guy.
Yeah, and that then, was dirt. I don't know what that was for though.
Then be like, can
nice.
you pretend to lie so
be
one
nice.
of us doesn't feel like shit? Like, are you kidding me?
Forget you.
Like, this movie's pretty much a love story. Venom was more there for Eddie than Anne was.
Yes, and that's kind of why it was kind of weird that they had like the suit and Venom. I mean, Eddie and the suit both, or Venom and Eddie, literally split up.
Right.
There was the part.
It was like a second act breakup for a second. It's especially hammered in that this is a love story because Venom at one point when he and Eddie are arguing, they have a fight and he's like, "Take your stuff and get out."
So they pretty much had like it was like a bromance almost.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so I kind of liked how they like gave us a pre-story to Cletus Cassidy and how he met his girlfriend.
I think his origin is like how he, like his childhood was ripped straight out of the comics because that's exactly what he did. He killed his
grandmother.
Mother,
yeah.
He killed his grandma. He killed his dog, and I think he killed his dad too. But
killed everybody.
Yeah, he killed all his family.
But he was a kid though.
Yeah, as a child.
Yeah.
He was a demented little kid.
Mm-hmm.
But Carnage was actually pretty terrifying in some points, especially in the final fight where he was fighting Venom. Because I think there were some points where he was actually getting bigger than Venom. Like
he was bigger and
Venom, like this is Venom at one point. This is Carnage. Huh?
I got a question for you, okay?
Okay.
So you're a fan of Spider-Man and everything.
Yes, I am.
Would you go see a Spider-Man musical?
It depends.
Honestly.
Probably not. Probably not. If the musical is good, then maybe.
Define good, that's the thing.
Like, I don't know, just well written. The songs aren't ear grating and forced and trash or that kind of thing.
Okay, so.
But that's an excellent segue. Spider-Man.
Wait a minute. So, around 2012, 2013, I went to New York City for a film program put on by this company or this broadcast company called DCTV. And while I was out there with my godmother, she had got us tickets to go see Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
What did you think of it?
I mean, it wasn't bad. Not at all. It wasn't, it was a musical, so yeah, you have to hear the music. But I liked it. They actually had people doing acrobatic stuff in the crowd. Like they were on harnesses and stuff, and I loved it. I would go see it again if it was still on Broadway or whatever. Or I don't think all of musicals are on specifically Broadway. I think it's like
right
on 42nd Street or whatever. But within the story, they bring up the Sinister Six. So in this story, Spider-Man is Spider-Man. He's a high school kid who does photography and everything, and then he meets uh, Norman Osborn. He's the Green Goblin in this story and everything.
Yep.
And so he meets the Sinister Six, and Carnage is in it. And so it's like a whole different type of feel. Would you like to see some of it?
Some of it.
I mean, it's a little snippet. I think I could probably find a little snippet real quick. Hold on. So yeah, I'm about to pull up a little snippet from the Turn Off the Dark. Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. And Turn Off the Dark. It's one specifically that I want you to hear. A freak like me or whatever. Hold up. So this specific performance isn't from the actual play. It's from the play, but it's not shot on the play. It's from David Letterman.
Right.
Okay. Turn Off the Dark.
That's the Green Goblin.
That's the Green Goblin, and yeah, it was a lot more dramatic. The look of all the costumes and stuff was a lot more dramatic than I expected it to be. Even though I thought that the first Spider-Man movie, it wasn't as dramatic, the look of it, but that's really dramatic right there. Golden in the green, but I'm unique.
Man.
All right. One villain when you can have 7. The Sinister Six. I think some of these villains that he brings up, like Swarm, I don't think he was the actual one.
I don't think so either.
Lizard. Yeah. That's Electro. 2. Look at that. Look,
Kraven the Hunter.
Look at how his thing is. That is wild,
That is
bro.
pretty good. Carnage.
And you see how like his stuff is like hanging off of him.
Yeah.
That's a black woman right there. That is not just any. That's a black woman dressed in a Swiss Miss costume or whatever. And I don't even think that was another one that wasn't real. I don't think. So would you be able to?
I'd take that back, maybe. Oh,
So
it's a Spider-Man musical.
So you would be able to watch it, okay?
Yeah, but speaking of Spider-Man, we're not talking about that Spider-Man yet. But this is your spoiler alert, by the way.
Yes. So
because we're about to get into the
so
end
spoiler
credits of
alert.
Venom.
So if you did not like the movie itself, You will definitely like the end credit scene. So, like we said, spoiler. If you don't want to hear the spoiler, you got to fast forward or just stop listening right now.
I'm pretty sure he'll leave the time card up,
bro,
because this is about to get the nitty gritty.
Yeah, spoiler.
So basically, what did you think about the fact that Venom is basically now in the MCU?
They should have did that in the beginning.
Yeah,
honestly,
they should have. But honestly, he should have. If they were gonna put him in the MCU, Spider-Man should have got like the black suit. Like
yes, like there you
here's
go.
The thing: the first Venom movie, if it was tied to the MCU, it could have been set in New York, not San Francisco. Yeah. Because in this movie universe, Venom does not know Spider-Man yet. Nobody knows Spider-Man.
Oh, nobody at all.
Nobody in this universe knows who Spider-Man is. So yeah, basically like have like what am I trying to say? Do a movie in the MCU where Spider-Man gets the black suit. Have it set up for a Venom movie where like
they kind of bump heads somehow.
Right. Where like in the movie he gets rid of the costume, and then like an end credit scene, you see the symbiote attach itself to Eddie Brock, and then he becomes Venom, which basically sets it up for the movie itself.
Excuse me.
But in this one, if you've seen the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, you know that Doctor Strange does a spell, but Peter Parker keeps messing up the spell, and I think it messes up with like the space-time continuum, and it
do you want to do a reaction multiverse. For that?
Yes.
Do it? Okay. We'll do it.
But basically, Venom and Eddie, they're watching a TV show in a hotel, and just as like Venom is about to explain the knowledge that he has from other symbiotes.
I know a lot of things.
Basically. They end up in somebody else's room, and on the TV is J. Jonah Jameson, and he's talking about Spider-Man, which basically Tom Holland from the MCU.
Right.
And I think a small part of Venom knows who Spider-Man is, because he mentioned hive knowledge, meaning like there's like they all share the same thoughts and memories.
Okay.
Because that would be the only reason why he would act so hostile to Spider-Man. He's like, that guy.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense now. So I know you've probably heard about this my hypothesis about J. Jonah Jameson. In a weird universe, Samuel Jackson plays JJ.
That would be quite the universe if Samuel L. Jackson was J. Jonah Jameson. he'd be like the second best J. Jonah Jameson.
Man, just honestly, like all he needs, just stay bald.
Right, just stay bald. Well, he doesn't even have to grow a set of hair like. Well, he could, but
he could have the little high top or whatever, but he doesn't need it.
No, he doesn't. But at that same time, he be cussing like a motherfucker.
Exactly. I want to see pictures, motherfucker.
I want to see them pictures of
Spider-Man. Get your thumb out your butt and get on to it. I could picture that now. Man.
I could too. But yeah, that scene definitely set up a future crossover with Venom and Spider-Man, because they said they're gonna fight eventually. Mm-hmm. It may not be in No Way Home, but it may be like in a future Venom sequel or whatever. Just as long as they fight each other.
Yeah. So the next one, Shang-Chi, or our last one actually. Well, I got two of them, but due to time, I'll just probably just cut it down to just one.
Right.
Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad, so much better than the original one. And I say this as a fan. I know it's not the best movie of the DC bunch, but I have a soft spot for the original Suicide Squad. I love Will Smith. I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Exactly. I kind of like the darker tone of it.
Right.
Compared to this one.
This one, they didn't pull any punches. Like more of the Suicide Squad in the original, they ended up making it out the movie. In this one, barely
people died.
Like most of the people you see on the poster,
They died.
Like 75-90% of that cast is dead.
And that was a disappointing moment, honestly, for me, because I'm like, what? After I just start seeing people just die left and right, I'm like, what's the point of all these people in this poster then?
I guess it's to show you that nobody is safe in the Suicide Squad, because the whole point of the Suicide Squad is they're expendable.
Yeah.
But I've seen that movie about like 3 times. It's one of my favorite movies.
You watch it on HBO Max?
Yeah, I watched it in the theater and I watched it on HBO. It's bad that people didn't give it a chance though, because this is the kind of stuff DC needs to be doing. Well, they need to have fun sometimes, but obviously they need to get people who care about these characters. Right. And clearly they cared about these characters in Suicide Squad. I think this version of Harley is the best we've gotten so far.
What you mean, this version?
There's
3 different versions. It's like the original Suicide Squad version of Harley. Then it's Birds of Prey.
Or like how she's been characterized throughout the DCEU.
Okay.
Because you really see that she's tired of all these guys, and pretty much there's a scene where she shoots a guy because she's like she thought it's a red flag to kill kids, and she's having flashbacks about like how the Joker was not good for her. He probably killed her hyena. He probably slashed her tires because the Joker, he's not a good person for Harley. And if you think the Joker and Harley Quinn are couple goals, I recommend you read one of those comics. I recommend you watch Batman the Animated Series, and then you'll see that they are not couple goals.
They're not couple goals at all. He was really toxic to her.
Yeah, I think there was an episode of Batman the Animated Series where he straight up hit her, and he sent her flying out the. He hits her on the regular anyway. He's abusive to her, and he hit her so hard that even Batman flinched. Because you know it's bad when even Batman gets an emotional reaction or something. Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, she's growing into as a character. I hope that they continue with her so that she can eventually
independence or whatever.
Yeah. I hope that they continue with that so she can meet Poison Ivy eventually, because man, Poison Ivy.
This is a kid's series, man. This is a kid's show.
Yeah.
Nah,
but still, she does meet Poison Ivy because that's her girl, and
literally her girl.
And she's pretty much the only one in Gotham that treats her like a human being.
Yeah, and we haven't seen an updated version of Poison Ivy anyway, because I think
the only DC doesn't have a plan right now.
Right, I'm like the only updated version I've seen was through the video game, and that was in
Arkham Knight.
No, Arkham City.
I think it was Arkham City, maybe.
Yeah, it was one of them. It was Arkham Asylum. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Arkham Asylum.
But back to the actual movie instead of just one character. It's really violent. Like I said, they don't pull any punches with this movie. It's really fun to watch. The characters like have so much chemistry. I think Idris Elba's Bloodsport and John Cena's Peacemaker, they had this really funny scene near the beginning or like the first half of the movie where they're trying to one up each other, and it's just a great dose of dark humor.
Oh yeah,
and it shows like they have a rivalry, but which I'd like to see more of. But Peacemaker's the only one with getting anything else. I'd love to see more of Idris as Bloodsport because he was a really good substitution for Deadshot. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he really was.
And King Shark is obviously one of my favorites in the entire movie.
Yeah. I think King Shark, Bloodsport. I was kind of intrigued by Circle Dot Man or whatever.
Polka Dot Man?
Polka Dot Man.
Yeah, Polka Dot Man was pretty cool too. I liked Ratcatcher. She was obviously the heart of the team and the heart of the film. She ended up taking down the big bad with all the rats in the city. Like that's kind of useful if you think about it.
I think her whole costume or whatever kind of like made me like queasy a little bit because I'm like, all those rats like right there next to her.
Right. Well, just the one, but still.
Well, yeah, it's just the one. But when he summons the the one, then all of them come out and
then when she mentioned that she had to sleep with rats to keep her
keep
and her
warm.
dad warm, them rats had so many diseases. But
Man,
yeah, that's a thing. But Suicide Squad, I obviously recommend you guys watch it if you haven't already. If you're like iffy on it, just give it
watch
a watch
it.
because
Just watch it.
DC needs this.
Yeah. All right, so we got a long list of trailer reactions, and I was just gonna pick 4 at least. So you said Spider-Man.
Yes.
I want to do Uncharted,
Lightyear.
Resident Evil.
Yes.
All
So
right.
let's start with. Let's start with Uncharted. We'll save Lightyear for last.
All right. Bet.
Like Uncharted,
Lightyear.
Resident Evil, Spider-Man, Lightyear.
So Lightyear first.
No, Lightyear. No. In that, I just said it. I just said the order.
Then,
Uncharted,
Oh,
Resident Evil, Spider-Man, and then Lightyear. So Lightyear is last. Uncharted is first.
Uncharted. All right. I think I got it in my little playlist. Hold on. Yes, here we go. All right.
All right. Ads.
Ads.
Nobody likes ads.
Forget
Me too.
ads.
PlayStation Productions.
Oh wow, that's a. Oh, how young is he in this?
I have no idea, but I bet there are a lot of people fangirling at the fact that Tom Holland is behind a bar.
He is about to get some money off of this and Spider-Man.
Right?
Wait a minute.
What?
Hold on. Wait. I'll hold my questions to
Okay.
the end.
Because I know very little about the games, but I have friends who really enjoy the Uncharted games.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait a minute.
Antonio Banderas.
Oh, wait.
I'd be freaking out so
I would be
hard.
freaking out too, yo.
That guy's dead. Or he's got a major concussion before he hits the wall.
One of the two. Yeah.
It don't matter. He gonna hit the ground anyway.
So.
Oh wait, there's like a few more seconds after.
Oh, wait a minute. What is he saying?
Even he don't know. He talking about the Scottish welcome or something.
I will be so scared, man.
So would I. All right, what was your question?
So okay, you said you don't play the Uncharted games.
I played demos of the Uncharted games.
Which Uncharted game? Which one?
I think it was Uncharted 2.
Okay. So you know in the original those two, like
Yeah.
the first one and the second one, he's there. I think in the game he has to be 27 tops,
27
maybe
at
30.
best.
Yeah, I'm like
Maybe 30. Because
28, 29, maybe 30.
Because Nate is kind of old in the recent one.
And the most reason when he has to be in his like early 40s.
Right.
So in the trailer, if you're not watching this on YouTube. Um, you can't see it, but if you are listening to this on SoundCloud or wherever I'm going to put the audio, you see that Nate, he's younger. So played by what's his name?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. He's a younger guy. So it kind of questions on like how accurate are they going to have this whole movie be?
And I think they mentioned before all the marketing and everything that this is going to be a younger Nathan Drake.
Right. So I'm thinking like with all this stuff going on, like they brought up his brother.
Right.
If you play the fourth one, they kind of play with his brother. They bring his brother into the story and everything. And that whole adventure is him, his brother, and his wife. They're all into it.
Yeah.
But in here, they bring up his brother, but don't show him. So I don't know, like
maybe they'll show him in like a flashback or something.
Maybe.
But I think this looks good. I've watched some people play the games. I think Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, I think they know the interactions because they just have a good chemistry so far.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Nate, from what I heard, he survives on pretty much dumb luck.
Who?
Nathan.
Oh yeah.
He survives on dumb luck. Like the scene where he's hanging out of the playing cards. That's actually lifted from one of the games, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So
they did their research.
Some of the people that they show in this trailer, he shouldn't be interacting with right now,
right?
Because he's a lot younger. If they were younger individuals, then yeah, that's fine with me.
I think they're trying to merge games.
Okay, all right. I guess since it's a movie or whatever, but
right. Oh wait, I just remembered. There's another trailer we probably should react to.
What?
The Batman.
Oh, okay, I was thinking about doing that, but
you're pressed for time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think this is about to be like an hour and a half long already as is.
Okay, that makes sense. But on to the next one.
Yeah. So what's the next one?
Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City.
Resident Evil. This looks crazy already. What? All right. Let's go. Okay.
More ads.
Pretty boy from Victorious is in this.
Yep. I think he's playing Chris. Yeah, he's playing Chris.
Oh, okay. 98.
I think isn't that where the first game took place?
Yeah.
They're merging games for this one too.
Raccoon City, yeah. That's another pretty boy. Okay.
Oh wait, no. He's pretty boy's playing Chris.
Yeah.
The pretty boy from Victorious is playing Leon.
Oh.
And girl that just flashed on the screen with the curly hair, that's Jill.
Yeah. This is crazy.
It would suck to live in the Resident Evil.
And the whole
time period.
That would be like all of that, like all of them.
November 24th.
What's going on?
That's Leon. I don't know who he's playing. Wesker? I'll have to look it up after the trailer.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, that's Jill right there.
Yeah. They taking this from the video game.
Yep. Yeah.
That specific part is from the video game.
Remember when I said the other Resident Evil movies had nothing to do with Resident
Nothing
Evil?
at all. Yeah, nothing.
This one does.
Yeah.
The liquors.
The liquors. This is gonna be doper, I feel like.
I hope it's good. It feels more like a horror film, unlike the other Resident Evil movies, which those were just
It's like a sci-fi thriller.
yeah.
type.
It was pretty much a fan fiction where the director put his wife at the center. That's pretty much what it. Yeah,
Word.
the director of those movies was married to Mila Jovovich.
Okay.
I like Mila Jovovich, but
But
after-
she don't got to be in the front of everything.
after being forced to play a Resident Evil game,
Yeah.
those movies had nothing to do with the games.
I watched I think I saw the original when I was younger, and then I saw the one. I saw like two other ones I think after that, and that was it.
I think I've seen like 2 of the Resident Evil
I
movies.
saw one that had Mike Epps in it as like a character.
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps should not be playing in those types of movies. At all.
What kind of movie should Mike Epps be playing at?
Comedies.
Pretty much.
So what's next?
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
No Way Home.
There's no new trailer out for that yet, or even
That's
a
what I was
poster.
like. That's what I was like. I was thinking that it would be, but I didn't see anything.
Like the movie's like less than a month away.
A month away, yeah.
They need to release something. All of these ads from Sony have had all of these trailers from Sony have had ads. It's getting annoying. Is this your first time seeing this trailer?
I think this is my second. I think I saw the ad on like Instagram or something like that.
Ah, J. Jonah Jameson.
Samuel Jackson, y'all. Aren't they dating in real life?
I think they were. I'm not sure.
I think they are. I think that's what I just heard. I saw.
Yo, how bad would that be if everybody found out you were Spider-Man? I guarantee nobody would leave you alone,
Nobody.
whether or not you killed somebody or you allegedly killed somebody.
Allegedly.
Doctor Strange,
Got the bubble coat on.
right? Like, why is it snowing in there? Is my question. Stop with the cap, Strange.
Stop the cap.
You can't have 2 lives, Peter. That's hard.
Yeah. This is going to be a crazy Christmas.
Yeah, it is. Not looking forward to working when that
Man.
day comes.
Honestly.
I'm gonna try and work a certain amount of hours when this comes out, because man, Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin. I hope that's him and not the guy from The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the original. If he's coming back,
Then
he's got to bring back the original Green Goblin suit. There you go.
December 17th. Now, obviously this looks good. This looks pretty good.
Oh yeah,
based on these 2 minutes. I think I remember heading home from work and the trailer notification popped up. Do you have any idea how fast I pulled my car over?
You pulled over in the street or whatever?
Not in the street.
I think I in the park. In the,
I think I reached
lot.
the IHOP parking lot. I pulled over so quick.
Was this like after you clocked out or whatever? Or
yeah.
whatever you were heading out?
Yeah, and the thing is, I watched the leaked trailer, so I wasn't sure if that was the actual thing. And then pretty much this entire trailer was that thing, just not word for word, but screen for shot. That's it. But I thought it was the Doc Ock thing that was gonna get a huge reaction out of me. Mm-hmm. It was actually the pumpkin bomb and Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin laugh that made me scream, because I that laugh is just so iconic.
Right. And
even more is Alfred Molina's portrayal of Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2.
That was the only one that we had, right?
Yeah.
Of Doc Ock.
Yeah, that's the only Doc Ock movie.
And I remember I think, The Amazing Spider-Man, they had, like, they were about to pitch
The Sinister Six.
But I guess they just, like, forget it and just, like, scrapped all of that.
Yeah. And then technically Doc Ock was in Into the Spider-Verse, but that was, like, not Otto Octavius.
That was the
somebody
chick.
else.
What, it was like a chick or whatever.
Yeah, that was, like, basically Miles' version of Doc Ock.
Yeah.
But still.
Was she black, too?
Huh?
Was she black?
No.
No. Okay,
she wasn't black. But she did look like a squid, particularly the way she had her hair.
Yeah, for sure.
But do you think they're gonna bring in Toby and Andrew like everybody's been thinking?
That would be dope if they did bring all of them in.
I think it would be dope too. I've been going online and seeing everybody saying that they're in it. Like, guys, don't just assume they're in it, because when that movie comes out and they're not in it, you're gonna be disappointed, and then you're gonna call the movie the worst thing ever. Because
why would you tease us like that?
Because you guys had all these expectations built up.
Yeah.
But if they are in it, I will admit that I am wrong, and I will watch this movie regardless, because I love Spider-Man. He was one of the first heroes I got into, aside from Batman. I think that's every kid's first superhero.
Yeah,
though.
Spider-Man I think was mine too.
Like, Spider-Man's the most relatable amongst the children.
Spider-Man, Batman. It was Spider-Man, then Batman. Then the Hulk.
Then it became Iron Man for me.
Then Iron Man.
It was like Batman and Spider-Man were my favorite heroes. And then Iron Man came out, and he became my favorite Marvel character.
Right. Aside
from Spider-Man, of course.
What's the next one?
The last one is Lightyear.
Lightyear, y'all. Lightyear.
Y'all don't know that name, and y'all don't know the company.
You ain't a 90s baby.
Facts. Besides, it's been pretty much blowing up all day.
Oh, yeah.
Here it goes. There he is. Buzz Lightyear.
Hot.
Right? Isn't it weird seeing Buzz with hair?
Man, this is a whole nother Buzz.
Right? It's the Buzz, like the Buzz that inspired the toy from Toy Story.
Oh, okay.
And also, this movie looks absolutely gorgeous.
Very gorgeous.
Like, it reminds me of The Martian and Star Wars so far. Yeah, that suit looks clean. like this. This looks good. You okay?
Because I'm like, okay, so Buzz Lightyear, the toy, was based off of just a TV show.
Yeah. Well, I think like there was a Disney presentation back in 2020. They teased this movie. They were like, back when they created Toy Story, they were like, we designed Buzz with the idea that he was based on a character from a really cool movie, and
oh, this is that.
This is that movie.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, okay, so this is like. At first, I thought I'm like, okay, so Buzz Lightyear isn't a real thing, but like he's a real guy here.
Yeah, and obviously this is an origin story of how Buzz Lightyear became
Buzz Lightyear,
the space ranger. Yeah.
Okay.
He starts out as a test pilot, as you just saw in this.
Yeah.
trailer.
Right. Yeah.
But
and this is a movie or this is a series?
This is a movie. This might be. I've watched this trailer in XD, not XD, in HD. This might be one of Pixar's best looking films so
Very
far.
clean, yeah.
Like,
but they still captured that classic
Toy Story Pixar feel.
Yeah.
Like that part where they're peeking their heads up from the rock.
Yeah.
And they're looking at some ominous thing that turns their head. That looks so reminiscent of Star Wars. It's just really good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw that, but that dude who was walking towards the ship, but we didn't see his face, and he had an army of robots lined up, and there was like a huge hint of purple in that scene. I think that's Emperor Zurg.
I'm pretty sure of it, yeah.
Because I saw Z shapes on those robots' chests.
Yeah.
And the fact that we didn't see him once in the trailer. Like, he kind of has to be the villain, you know?
It has to be. It has to be a villain somehow.
Right.
In the movie.
But Buzz, he looks like Buzz. It just looks like he has smaller eyes. That's gonna take some getting used to.
Yeah, he looks more.
I think they gave him more of a realistic approach.
Yeah,
because one of the characters, I think like two of the characters have bigger eyes than Buzz Lightyear does. But
the black chick,
right? I think she had a scar on her eyebrow too. That was a nice little detail. I like details like that. But anyway, obviously this looks great. This might be like the first Pixar property I've been excited for since Incredibles 2 or that movie Soul.
Yes, Soul was I think that was the bigger one that I was excited about.
And Soul is also one of Pixar's best looking films.
Very realistic.
Yes. Like it makes you think like there's these Pixar cartoon characters against this realistic background. Same with Lightyear.
Yeah. I really want to do one more. Because I haven't seen this one yet. I think I've seen like little snippets here and there, but I haven't seen it entirely. And that's Matrix.
The Matrix.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh, one more thing about Lightyear. Yeah. That's not Tim Allen voicing the character.
Who is it?
It's Captain America. He only has one line in this trailer, but it's him.
It's him. Okay.
But it's him. I think he'll do the character justice.
Okay.
So far, even though we just heard like him say the word and that's it. But it's a younger Buzz Lightyear, so
yeah,
it should work.
Yeah.
All right. The Matrix.
Matrix Resurrections.
Perfect title.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
No ads. Thank you, WB channel. I say this like we're getting sponsored.
Right. Whoa. Is that Paul?
Neil Patrick Harris?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes, it is. Trinity.
What in the world? What he doing? The blue? He did the blue pill.
Yeah, he'd been taking blue pills.
I guess that's a reality pill.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Get all those blue pills.
Not talking about Viagra, y'all.
Stop.
Candyman!
And I think he's this version of Morpheus. I think he's the new Morpheus.
Oh, snap, son! Ain't no more Lawrence Fishburne.
No more Lawrence
Candyman
Fishburne.
is Neo.
You mean Morpheus, not Neo.
Oh my bad. Morpheus. He did the this Christmas is about to be psycho, bro.
If you go to a movie theater, have mercy on us, please.
Bro, please. Please have mercy on us, man.
Also, blue hair girl hit that flip kind of clean.
Yeah.
That was also clean.
It's a whole bunch of effects that I want to try to recreate on my own.
I couldn't even do those in stop motion. Are you kidding me? Ugh, I just got chills from that theme.
HBO Max.
December 22nd, the week after Spider-Man. Again, have mercy
Hey,
on us.
please have mercy on us, man.
Be kind to us, please. And we'll be kind to y'all.
Bro, if you look at us, don't say nothing. Just know that we are in danger. Our families are probably missing us right now if we're at work or whatever.
We just want to have an easy,
just make it
painless
easy on
time,
us, man.
please.
We don't need nobody talking trash about the prices. We don't need nobody asking about what a water fountain is.
We don't need nobody asking or just saying we're like, what's the word? Like, we're not coming back here because we're incompetent workers. Please
just
use your heads instead of wearing them.
Man,
please.
If you like,
with that being said, we're happy to have y'all.
Yeah, we
back at the movie
y'all.
Theaters.
Welcome back. Please,
but please, just make it easy on us this holiday season.
I know y'all trying to see movies with your families and everything, but please.
All right, now let's talk about The Matrix.
Honestly,
that looks good.
Yes,
too.
Very good.
I haven't seen The Matrix in like a long time though, so I'll probably have to rewatch the movies.
I haven't really sat down and just watched I've seen like snippets. I haven't really like sat down and just like chilled out and watched it. Because I probably should have. I think before I watch this, I'm gonna probably watch all three.
Yeah,
it's 3 of them.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
The Matrix was like the first R-rated movie that I sat down and watched as a child. It's pretty tame.
Guns, or was it because of like this? I guess.
I don't know. The Matrix is pretty tame as far as R-rated movies go. Especially since it came out in 1999, like a few years after Blade, where that was like one of the most violent R-rated movies.
And it was a Marvel movie too at that.
Or based on the Marvel character, but still.
Yeah.
The thing that without we wouldn't have superhero movies today
at all. Yeah, I saw that.
Or we wouldn't have the MCU today. I think it paved the way for the MCU.
So Wesley Snipes should get his flowers instead of just getting trashed for. I think he was the first one to try to do Black Panther too.
Yeah, he was. And I think he was. Yeah, I think
he was. He was. But it wasn't the Black Panther. It wasn't the Black Panther that we know today.
Right. It was a different.
It was a whole another type of Black Panther.
But anyway, it's good to see Keanu back in this. I thought something happened to him back in the Matrix Revolutions, but I don't know. The Matrix is very confusing to me.
Yeah. Honestly.
Like, I haven't been more confused since I watched.
When I saw this trailer, I was confused about, like, was he, like, out of the Matrix or whatever, or what was the thing with the blue pills?
Like, has he been living a false reality this entire time?
Exactly.
Or is he just trying to suppress the memories of the Matrix?
Yeah. And so also, aside from the Matrix, I think they're doing another John Wick.
Yeah. I think they're on chapter 4.
Is it the or they? I think they're going to do that one, and I think I heard somebody saying that they're going to do a prequel.
A John Wick prequel? I don't know.
Yeah, so it's going to be the prequel of the Continental. Yeah,
I see.
Yeah,
Let me let you in on a little secret though. I have not seen a single John Wick movie. Yeah, you heard me right. I have not seen a single John Wick movie.
Wow.
I need to sit down.
You gotta watch all 3.
I've seen clips. I've seen clips from like the first one. It's got some top tier action. I remember seeing the clip of the dad talking to his son and telling him that John Wick is that dude.
Yeah, I love the John Wick series. So the fact that they are, well, I figured after the third one and how it ends,
yeah,
it was going to be set up. But after I heard that they're doing the Continental prequel, I'm kind of down to see that too, because I think they got new people playing some of those characters that you'll learn who they are when you watch the movies.
Right.
So yeah. All right, you guys. This is the end of. I'm gonna just say the broadcast. It's not even a podcast no more. It's a broadcast. I'm pretty sure when I edit this down, or whenever I edit it, this is gonna be probably a good 2 hours. Probably.
It's probably late.
Honestly,
the longest podcast.
I'm gonna probably just cut it up.
Yeah.
Honestly. So I'll talk to you guys later. If this is your first episode, and you're loving it, like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on the podcast Instagram at Mind of Filmmaker Podcast. Hold on, I don't even know the name of our Instagram. Hold on, give me a minute. So yeah, so follow us at the official Mind of Podcast. You know what? I'm sorry.
Link it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna link it. I'm gonna link it all. I'm gonna do like the Instagram girls do, and just give y'all the links, the link page or whatever. All right, guys. Talk to you later.
All right. Peace.